Hello there, and welcome to Almost Solitaire, and welcome to the 2nd century BC. This is the first battle of the 2nd century BC we are doing within our series, going through all the Commands and Conquers Ancients battles. There's been a few now, right? But yeah, so we have seen the end of the Punic War. We have seen a battle between two of the successor states. And this is actually involving another successor state because the Macedonian here, they are the Antigonids, Philip of the Fifth is from the Antigonid dynasty. The battle is called Cynoscephalae, and it was fought 197 BC in Greece, kind of central Greece. Actually the southern parts of the lands belonging to Macedonia at this point of time. So what's up here then? Well, you know, the Second Punic War has ended, as we said, and King Philip V of Macedonia, he was kind of an ally to Carthage, or at least he had he made an agreement with Hannibal. You know, they kind of were allied, but they didn't help out each other out that much during the war. But they both had kind of the Rome as the common enemy there. So Philip had been harassing and being very aggressive against well, city-states and states around the eastern Mediterranean, you could say, mainly Greece, where there was also Roman interest. So he had been acting quite hostile against the Romans as well, right? Also during what is called the First Macedonian War, where there have been a lot of unrest throughout Greece and there and in the vicinity. So after the Punic War did end, the Romans, now of course they were now a real force to reckon with in the Mediterranean area, because now they have control of pretty much the whole western part of Mediterraneans, and they were now turning their focus against the east. And of course Philip V is one of the targets. I mean, he was allied to Rome's worst enemy, so of course they have a score to settle there. Now what caused the Roman invasion of Macedonia here was pretty much as Macedonians were acting a bit hostile and aggressive here in towards their neighbors, and especially the Aetolian League, which is a league of Greek states, they pretty much reckoned that Rome was the big military force now. So they asked Rome for help against the Macedonians. I mean, the Aetolian League did. So the Senate decided to send over Flaminius, Lucius Quinctius Flaminius, together with two legions to Greece to, attack Philip V. Philip was also, well, he saw the Romans come, and he also, I guess, wanted this battle to happen. He wanted to, of course, defend his lands because there was an invasion coming. So at this point of time, when this battle took place, the armies were pretty close to each other along the Cynoscephalae hills, and that's these hills that are depicted in the battlefield here. I don't really know. I think actually I read that the name Cynoscephalae means something like dog's heads in Greek, so probably the heels resembled of dog's heads or something like that. So both armies were in vicinity of these hills, but they didn't really know about each other's whereabouts that much. But they were really close at this point of time. So, and they were, both armies were actually marching, you know, trying to find each other. And during one night of this day and night of these marches, there was a really heavy rain coming. And when the next day, during the next day or next morning, since it was so humid, there was a thick fog overall in the region here. So the visibility was really, you know, limited here, and that caused some disruption, especially for the Macedonians. Actually, they had some problems with navigation here. But anyway, Philip wanted to secure these hills, and probably he wanted to have some scouts up and check where are the Romans, right? So he sent forth his light infantry, and I think also cavalry, to take control of these hills. And so they did. And by doing that, they actually saw the Romans on the other side of that hill. And the Romans grew aware of the Macedonian presence here also. So they started to send up some of their lights to counter the Macedonian ones. And there was a big skirmish battle happening here. The Macedonians threw in some cavalry here. And Flaminius countered also with sending up some of his Greek cavalry, because the army composition is here, well, it's mostly Romans. I think it's about 16,000 legionaries here, and then they have some Greek allies, and they have some cavalry from the Aetolian League, I believe. So they were sent up to, you know, balance it up here. At that point, even though Philip was a bit hesitant here, but the skirmish turned out to be more and more of a real battle. So both sides committed more and more troops. So Philip sends up some of his phalanxes here. This is Macedonian phalanx forming up. It's a bit rugged terrain here, so it wasn't really perfect grounds for a phalanx battle. But he sends up his heavy troops to make the Romans to retreat. And so they did. So the Romans were pushed back, and they were also sending in heavier reinforcements here. I think Flaminius at this point took control of the left flank of the Romans, who were marching up the hill. So there was a fierce battle happening here. But even though the Romans were fighting uphill, they kind of stand their ground. There was an even fight here happening. At that point, the Roman right has been, you know, formed as well, and they have elephants over here as well. I think maybe this is the first time we see elephants in a Roman army here. So Flaminius went over to his right flank and started to advance up here. Now, over here we have, you can see that the Macedonian army was actually split up in two corps. So it's the first corps led by Philip himself, and then we have Nicanor. I think his nickname was the Elephant, actually. Nicanor the Elephant was kind of head of the second column here, or second corps, and they were still in kind of a march column formations here. So they kind of didn't expect to be attacked by the Romans, who suddenly appeared here. So there was a fight going on here as well, but the Romans got the upper hand over here. Much thanks to the elephants, actually, because they made a successful elephant charge into the phalanxes that spread panic over here. So what happened, if you look at the whole battlefield, the Romans were pushed back over here, while the Romans were pushing on their right. At that point, there was a nameless tribune. It's this guy over here. I'm pretty sure that's the one. When he saw that, okay, we got the upper hand here, but they were seeing the Romans slowly push back here, even though they did resist. There was not a full retreat or rout going on here. He took parts of his of the right-hand flank, legionaries here, and started to march towards the center and towards the Roman left. And they came upon the King Philip's phalanxes here from behind and from the flank, and that was too much for the. I mean, they couldn't really form up, to swing the big phalanx. There were deep formations here. They couldn't really swing it up that easily to meet the Romans, who were more flexible with their formations. So they started to retreat, and I think the rest, I mean, at that point also, many of the phalanxes were surrendering. They held up the sarissas, to as a signal to say to the Romans, we surrender. But for some reason, the Romans didn't care, or they didn't understand that symbol. I don't know, but they continued to hack the Macedonians down, and of course, what came out of that was full panic. So they were routing away. Philip himself got away, but there was incredible losses on the Macedonian side. I think it's thousands and thousands of losses, while the Romans were claimed to only lose about 700 in this battle. And that was from an army composition that was pretty even. Both sides had actually about 25 or 26,000 men in this battle. Philip had about, or the Macedonian side had about, I think it was 16,000 phalangites, and the Romans had about the same amount of legionaries. So, and both had very evenly in cavalry as well, about 2,000 each. Of course, these guys had the elephants, but it's interesting. This battle is also interesting from another standpoint, which has been claimed that this is the real, test between the Roman legions and the Macedonian phalanx-style battle, which proved, some claim, that the legion is a more effective unit on the battlefield at this time. Of course, there were other things that, other parameters here that, forced the end as it came. For instance, it's a pretty rough ground here, which is very difficult for maneuver of the heavy phalanxes. The other thing is that the second corps of the Macedonians were really not formed up for battle when it took place, so they were kind of surprised here and didn't have the time to form up properly. So the question would have been, if this had been a battle on the plain field where the Macedonian army could array their lines to a proper battle, who knows how it would have ended then. But that's another thing, and it's pretty much a what if, of course. This is what happened, and some claim this is just showing the Roman superiority in military tactics and formations. So that's pretty much the story about this battle. And after this battle, Philip had to sue for peace. He got that granted. He had to, pay, of course, to the Romans. He had to destroy pretty much the whole of his fleet, and he had to, become an ally of Rome, which he did, and probably did it pretty good afterwards, because he granted a lot to the Romans. They could march through his territory and all that, but all the time the Romans were a bit suspicious of Philip V. That's pretty much it. So let's check the war council, and we have the Macedonian army led by Philip V with 5 command cards. We have the Roman army by Consul Flaminius, who's the leader, and they also get 5 command cards. So no differences in the card count, and the Romans move first. We fight till we get 6 banners, and there is an optional rule which I will try to. It's optional. So, and this is pretty much about this flexibility of the Roman units that I talked about. So the rule says, an unsupported Greek heavy infantry may only battle back against a Roman medium or heavy infantry unit with 3 battle dice, which reflects the ability of the more maneuverable legions to gain the flanks of the phalanx and strike decisively. So I hope I can remember this rule. When I do, I will apply it for sure, at least. So we're gonna go with this, and I think it's pretty much needed in this battle, because if you look at the army composition, which we'll do right now, you can see the Macedonians. Let's put that scenario aside and look at the board. I mean, the Macedonians have a crazy amount of heavy infantry here. It's actually 6 of them. I don't know if we have seen that much heavy infantry in any battle previously. So let's look at the composition. When looking at it, I believe the situation is pretty much when the big battle is about to start, you know, or maybe a bit. I mean, when the skirmish battle is about to start, more or less. Because if you look here, the Greeks had pretty much control of the hills, the Cynoscephalae hills, and the Romans all of them are downhill here, and so probably the Romans are marching here, seeing the Greeks up the hill, and started to march against them. And the cavalry has not been committed yet either, so maybe it's a bit early in the battle anyway. So looking at the armies, we have some cavalry on the Macedonian side over there. Macedonian cavalry, of course, probably also some allies. I mean, in this battle, both sides have allies from different parts of Greece. For example, both have units from Crete, actually, in this battle. But I can't see any archers, though. But we have a slinger unit over there. Anyway, 2 cavalry there. We have on the hill, we have 2 light infantry and an auxilia. I know we have Thracians also here on the Macedonian side. These could be those guys. Then back here we have another auxilia. Then we have 3 heavies, and here's King Philip. In the center here we have more light infantry and some slingers. On the Macedonian left we have on the hill more lights and auxilia, and then back here we have 3 phalanx units, heavy infantry, led by Nicanor, the elephant, over there. So they are in control of the hills from the beginning, as they should. The Romans then, well, also 2 medium heavy cavalry, as the Macedonian side has. Or maybe you should say Antigonid side, I don't know which is more correct, but let's go with Macedonian as it says that in the scenario. Then we have some velites, we have some auxilia, more auxilia. This could be, you know, Italian allies, but it could also be Italian League allies. Then we have 2 medium heavies, legionaries. We have Triarii, and here is Flaminius. We have more velites. Here we have 2 units of auxilia, probably the same story as with the other auxilia. And then we have the 2nd legion here, 2 mediums and a Triarii, led by this unnamed guy who was the real hero of this battle. Then we have some velites up front, some light cavalry, not sure what that is, probably some Greek cavalry, lighter style cavalry, and then we have elephants. 1 unit of elephants. I think the Romans had about 20 elephants in this battle. And that's it. So if you look at it, pretty even though we have these, I mean, all of the heavier infantry is really heavy on the Macedonian side. But if the battle will take place mostly in the hills, well, then we don't have that many dice. And also remember that special rule that if phalanx is battling back against a medium or heavy Roman infantry, they will only get 3 dice. But that's only battle back, actually. Yeah. Tactics. How should we go about this? Well, let's see if we can kind of recreate history here. I'm gonna, with the Romans, try to push up the hill on all places, actually. Try to take control of that hill and bring the fight over on the Macedonian side. It would be nice to get the elephant through the gaps, because we have two gaps in the hills here. We can get the elephants, you know, and attacking those heavier guys behind here. That would be really nice. But it is a bit of a journey to do for those elephants to reach the phalanxes. But the Romans will push forward on all 3 sections of the battle board if I just get the cards for it. And let's see what happens. We will see a lot of skirmish, I believe, in the beginning before the heavier troops reach up. And there are some gaps here, so right now we cannot be that effective with line commands either, but I mean, we can easily close the gap, of course. For the Macedonian side, well, I think we are, even though they were pretty aggressive, I believe we might be a bit defensive here. Of course, try to defend the hills, throw the javelins as much as we can. If we can hit some guys with our auxilia, that's great. Form up the phalanxes, wait for the Romans to appear and hit hard, supported by the cavalry over here. I mean, that's the plan. It's really hard to do a proper plan here. It's such, you know, scattered forces, and well, we'll just see what happens. So let's go with that. And as I said, it's actually the Romans who go first. So I'm gonna check the cards in slot A and B then. So we have 2 units right, and then we have a Spartacus card. Not a bad start hand from the Romans. So we're gonna roll the die. So that's a D or E, so it's actually over here. We're gonna check what we get here. We have a light troops, which suit us pretty good. We have 2 light troops actually. This is good for initial skirmishing phase, pretty much. And since we have 5 command cards, we can order 5 units with such a card. So let's take card E. And 5 units of lights. Let's see. We have that light cavalry as well. We could bring it forward and start throwing some javelins with that. Let's see. Let's try to hit the unsupported guys. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. I will actually also order these guys to close the gap in the lines, so we can do an effective line command if we would get that, or leadership cards. And then 1 more. I think I will take 1 from this flank, even though all of the Macedonians here are actually supported right now. But let's take these velites, let's bring them forward there. These guys will just close the gap. These guys will harass those slingers. And these guys will go to attack the flanking units there who are not supported. That's the plan. So let's see how it goes. 1 die from there to that auxilia. Miss. Against the lights. That's a hit. First blood. A light infantry of the Macedonians. Then we have the next Velite unit. 1 die against the slingers. Another hit, so the slingers go down with 1 block. And then we have a last Velite attack here again up the hill there. We have some auxilia there to hit. But that was a miss. Okay, pretty good initial skirmishing when taking in account that they also moved, so only 1 die attacks here. So, but 2 hits, pretty good. So let's replace the card in slot E and then check what King Philip has. He has a rally and he has 2 units left. Okay, the rally we will not play because we don't have any leader adjacent to us, to the units that were hit, I mean. So 2 units left it needs to be then. No, sorry, I'm gonna roll for it first, of course. Forgot about that. I just thought I'm gonna play one of these. We need to roll for it. Here we go. Okay, so actually it's C, D, or E, so it's none of these. So we're gonna see the whole Macedonian hand actually in turn 1. Let's see. Okay, cornered attack. We got the first strike. Let's put it like that. Hopefully we remember it. And we're gonna instantly replace it. So we got a mounted charge, a cornered attack, and order light troops. We could actually retaliate with our lights. I think I'm gonna do that. That mounted charge will be interesting at some point. Of course, we could also do the cornered attack to do some retaliation here and there, but I think we can do that with the light troops and even more effectively. So that's what I'm gonna play. So we're gonna throw back a lot of javelins and stones and whatnot. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can order 1 more light. Let's bring this guy up in the center. They have moved. Okay. Let's start here. The auxilia will attack those velites. 2 dice this time. They missed. Here, 2 against those auxilias. There we got 1 hit. So the skirmish battle is, you know, a bit exchanging here. Then we have the slingers, 2 dice against that velite. 1 hit. Yeah, both sides take some skirmishing hits here now. And then we have these lights who rushed forward. They will attack with 1 die. Miss. And last, we got a retaliation from those auxilias there against that velite, 2 dice. And we got the flag. So we push back these guys. 1, 2, back to the line. Keeping control over there. So you're gonna replace that one. And then we go back to the Romans. Okay, they got an A or B this time. So 2 right or Spartacus. I don't think we're gonna play the Spartacus card though, but even though we could get some really heavy skirmish fire in, but I don't think so. I'm going to do the 2 units right. And what should we do? Should we continue with the skirmish or should we do something else? I think I'll actually start moving forward some units here. So I'm gonna bring up these guys. They move up. And then the elephant goes up here. So I'm slowly, you know, preparing for an assault with the elephants through the gap there in the hills and towards those phalangites there. That would be really cool. So not much action this turn from the Romans. Some preparations. Then we have the Macedonians. Okay, C or lowest order count. That's a coordinated attack, or it would be 2 units left. I think I might go with a coordinated attack this time. I'm gonna continue with my skirmishing. That, and we take the slingers in the center. Yes. And over on this hand, we start moving forward some phalanxes. I could, of course, move up one of the lights to start harassing that elephant. Maybe we should do that instead. We do that. So we march up with these guys to the edge of the hill, and we're gonna bombard that elephant. Because I believe the Romans need to do something about that, or these guys will be very dangerous. We have seen that those elephants before. They are really dangerous. Two-edged sword, indeed. Okay, but let's start on this flank. 2 dice. That's a flag, so these guys need to retreat. I bring them to the center. In the center section, the slingers will actually attack the Roman triarii here. 2 dice. And they hit. Can you believe it? The triarii weren't really prepared for getting stones and lead coming from the hills and from a long range. So they didn't hold up their shields properly. And we also need to check that leader's what is it called? Leader loss check. Oh, that was close. He got some on his helmet. Okay, that's interesting. Then we have that light infantry who marched forward. They're going to attack with 1 die against the elephant. That's a miss. Okay, the Macedonian skirmishes are really good actually. They have done a lot of harm now, and to some valuable units as well. And the Romans really need to do something against that guy. Maybe it's a bit hard to go through with the elephants. It's so many skirmishes here. We should maybe take care of those first, actually. Let's see what the Romans can do. Okay, they also got the C or lowest order count. So that would be that one, mounted. Okay, that actually gives us the elephant to move, and we can start moving up our medium heavies here. Yeah, that's interesting. Otherwise, we need to actually play order lights, which is not bad either. Because that's the lowest. I mean, this is a tactic card. So let's take this one and we go for the light troops, because I think that's troop cards are counted as section cards in the Solitaire rules here. So we're gonna do 5 of these because I need to tend to these guys now and start harassing their skirmishers. So 5 units of lights, and now I'm gonna bring up more of my lights. 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Yeah. So these guys, they go 2 up there. These guys go also 2 up there. These guys will not move, but fire. Over here, we need to do what we can to get those guys away. So we're going to move up these velites up here and the light cavalry to here. We need to scare those away. That's priority number 1. So here we're going to fire against let's fire against those lights this time. Don't want them to be too close to my elephants. So 2 dice against that light Macedonian infantry. Nothing. Too bad. But that's not the most critical part. It's these guys. We need to scare those off. So we start with the light cavalry, firing 1 die. Nothing. Then we have the velites, 1 die as well. Ah, crap. Nothing. That's bad. That sucks, to be honest. It would have been important to scare those guys away, or at least get a hit on those. They are a bit scared, but that didn't happen. Well, next time we could do some more serious bombardment here, but we need a card for it, of course. Okay, let's go over to the Macedonians. They got an A, B, or C. That's a rally. That's 2 units left, which could suit us pretty good. And 2 units right. Okay, I think I go with the left, because I want to continue harassing that elephant. I mean, we could trample some heavier troops here now, so I will take these guys and also these guys. And this time I dare to march down with those guys actually. I'm gonna attack here. These guys will stay. Okay, so let's start with the skirmishing fire. We're gonna throw whatever we can against that elephant. And we got a hit. We got a hit. Oh my. Here we're gonna attack. These guys will try to evade, but we get 3 dice and all the greens hit. And can you believe it? 2 hits. They got surprised by a sudden charge down the hillside there. 2 of them managed to evade away, but these guys really did a successful charge there against the velites. Caught a lot of them. Okay, this is an interesting start. I'm getting a bit more aggressive here with the Macedonians that I was thinking actually from the beginning, but that's cool. Okay, let's play another Roman turn. Another C or lowest order count, so it needs to be C, and that's order mounted. Well, maybe that's kind of good, because now I can hide those elephants. I don't dare really to keep them there, and there's no real reason to, you know, keep them or attack any lights with them. I mean, it's just crazy. 2 dice and, you know, no. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the elephants will actually get back 1 hex. These guys will stay, or actually maybe they want to move out of, yeah, let's move so we can screen the elephant and we can also get support. So we're gonna go here and throw some javelins instead. I think that's a good option. Over here, we might do something up the hills. We only get 2 dice when attacking with cavalry, so that's not too impressive. If I go there, these guys could actually go up and attack with 3 dice, even though we evade. How about going towards the center? No really good options here. Let's do like this. I'm gonna move these guys forward anyway, and then put these guys in support. I dare to do that. Let's see if those auxiliaries dare to attack. I'm not sure they do. Yeah, before we end that turn, we're gonna throw the javelins against that light infantry. It's 1 die from the Roman light cavalry, and they hit. They hit. I should be pretty safe here. I mean, okay, if they roll a double flag, they will kill me. But I think that's highly unlikely. Okay, then we got the Macedonians. Okay, rolling another C, a lowest order count. So that will be this one, and the other guys are, the cards are tactic cards. We're gonna actually need to play this. So we need to shift our focus over here for a while. And should we accept that cavalry challenge? I think I do. So I'm gonna actually order both my cavalry. So I'm gonna move them up only one actually. I mean, we can challenge those guys now. If they dare to come over here, we can kind of bag them in here. And if they don't, we can actually charge over the hills and get the first strike against the enemy cavalry there. That could be really cool. So that would be nice. Oh, by the way, no, that was the other way around. I need to remember that first strike as well. It's really important. I tend to forget that. But I think I might end this session here actually. So we have seen, as expected, a lot of skirmishing happening and quite a good result of those skirmishing. Loads of blocks in the dead pile. No banners dealt yet, but as you can see, the Romans had taken more hits and more valuable hits. 1 elephant, 1 triarii block. So so far, let's give them another card, by the way. So far, the Macedonians are having the upper hand of the skirmish battle here. Let's see what we can do with the Romans next time. We need to start marching, I guess. And then we have the cavalry challenge here. We're gonna see who does it first. So yeah, by that, thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.